On a related thing, you mentioned documentary. There came an extra episode of Tiger King that I haven't watched. Was it good?
No. It's Joel McHale doing like Skype interviews with some of the people who were on the show. It's not another. I thought they had re-edited some extra content, more footage. It is not that. So I watched 15, 20 minutes of it and turned it off.
No. It was that bad. Like it couldn't even hold your attention.
I'm not a big Joe McHale fan outside
Who
of
is
like
Joel McHale. Is it
like
Joe or
like
Joel?
Ryan
Joel.
Seacrest kind of guy.
He's the guy who did from Community and the one who used to do Talk Soup.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know this person. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like him at this. I think he was a big fan of the show, and that's how he got the gig. And I just didn't care for it. You know, he's
the character he normally plays is way cooler than you being like whoever I'm talking to, right? Like his whole shtick is I'm like so cool, but that's not really a fit in the Tiger King crowd.
Yeah, you know, he was just kind of being himself. And I want to say the first interview was the rotten toothed guy who now has teeth.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me. It didn't do it for me.
I watched the whole thing, but the only reason I was able to kind of stay engaged through it was because I watched it as soon as it came out, like right on the tail of the Tiger King. But it genuinely is pretty fucking boring. Like that new episode was clearly just a grab for attention. They're like, oh my God, this is the biggest thing on earth. Get everybody on a Zoom call and we'll record it. Like,
I wonder what Tiger King would have been like if they hadn't lost the footage. Right? You know, the animal abuse, the footage that Joe Exotic seemingly destroyed. How does that change it? Joe Exotic came away as this like almost sympathetic hero of a story that had no heroes, maybe the favorite character in this wild story. If it captured him like killing lions for sport and being cruel and being racist, then people might have viewed it through a whole different lens.
I almost thought of it, like maybe I'm wrong. I thought the whole like, oh, free Joe Exotic is the best. Like it seemed like memes almost to me, where it's like, yeah, this guy's clearly all these people for the most part. There are some good people in there, but a lot of them are just pieces of shit.
It's memes, but Carole Baskin was way more hated than Joe Exotic, and probably
as she should be. She killed her husband.
Yeah, she is a murderer.
Yeah,
her
Joe
husband,
Exotic never murdered anyone, as far as
didn't he make money selling drugs, and he flew his plane low over the ocean, single engine, and his plane's missing, and his car was at the airport, and that's how he died?
No, because there's no drugs at all. But the thing is that like his planes were not capable of making the flight that he went on, the trip he was going on.
And he would have known that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, those planes had like a 150-mile range or whatever, and he needed to go like 1,000 miles or whatever it was.
Carole Baskin was a shady bitch. No one will get around that. She was a shady fucking bitch. And she was unlikable. She didn't make any funny jokes or anything like the type.
Have you seen those guys who convinced her that they were Jimmy Kimmel and they were that she was going to be on the Tonight Show?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's hilarious. That's
good for them.
So I looked up.
If you're listening and you want to hear it, it's Vlog Creations.
Do you want to hear this Don Lewis and where his money came from? So I guess there's used cars, which is part of it.
Carole Baskin's husband.
Oh, okay.
Another part of it is I guess he bought real estate, fixed it up, and sold it. And then what I was referring to was he frequented Costa Rica as a vacation spot, and he had business dealings that required him to fly back and forth in his little plane to Costa Rica. And his car was at the airport when he went missing. And some people think that it was just a plane crash in the water.
But they explained in the show that his planes couldn't travel to Costa Rica.
He got fed to the tigers. I'm convinced. I bet my bottom dollar.
Like he wasn't flying himself to Costa Rica because his planes can't make it.
No, he's
Is
tiger
that the
shit
case? Now. I don't know. Maybe I could have my facts wrong.
Yeah, they explained in the show that he'd have to refuel like a handful of times to make it. He just didn't do that. he didn't fly himself there.
Even though so many people on that show are unlikable assholes, Carole Baskin was the most unlikable asshole. Even
Oh
if
yeah,
she did
well,
shit,
a lot.
that's why people hated on her.
The thing is, like, besides Doc also seemed like he had a lot going. He seemed like the smartest guy in the show, and he had a lot like that he was hiding. But Carole seemed so manipulative and like such a liar. Like when you see her tell the same lie back in like 1994 or whatever, and then today, and she does it the exact same way. Like the way she's like, Don said he had to get up early, and she like rolls her eyes and like nods her head back and forth, like she's like mocking the way he said it early in the morning. And like it's like she's told this lie so many times. She's
got her lines down basically. Like she found a lie that works, and she's not going to deviate from it unless it gets real serious. So,
yeah,
fuck her, Carole Baskin. Go fuck yourself.
These are the different stories. Conspiracy theorists say that Don had been flying his plane to Costa Rica every month, and he became tangled up in a dark drug trade. Chatter led to claims that his so-called friends suggesting Don liked to bury cash in the ground. Theorists concluded that Don was killed by a drug trade gone wrong. Carole Baskin says that he would fly to Costa Rica every month to have sex while she was on her period with like other women.
King.
And I don't know what the truth is.
Probably the sex. I think it was the fucking.
The monthly thing ties into that, right? Like, yeah, he had a schedule where every 28 days he would go down to Costa Rica for business, right?
I got some business to take care of south of the border. Later. Every month you just
So anyway, I was repeating a conspiracy theory. It turns out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she killed him. It's so weird that like he was seeking protection from her like weeks before he goes missing, and it's so weird that like the will was written to say like in the event of my disappearance.
Yeah, I remember that. It's very shady. There's too many up in the air aspects for it to be totally up and up. It's like she was planning for contingency issues.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she just seems like a real creepy fucking person too.
She's a bitch and I hate her. Fuck you, Carole Baskin. I know you're a listener to the show.
She's a Patreon, actually. She's a patron.
Yeah. We hung out with her, $50 a month to hang out with us. She's a bitch there too.
Gave her the money back.
We refunded.
Wasn't worth it.
Get your ass